Hi, my name is Victoria, and today we are starting the course How to Start Your Online Course for Free. This is the first lesson of the first module and the introduction into what is actually Info Biz. So, what is it about? For the sake of this course, I want that we align, we synchronize the notions, and I want that we think the same about what we're talking about. Info Biz is actually an online product. It can be a course or any kind of other informational product that is represented in any online format and has unlimited number of participants. This is very important. The moment it is limited, it's not an Info Biz. This means that you have a financial ceiling and you can't expand. I as well want that we agree on the fact that some things, some kind of informational products or services are not considered Info Biz. Let's say one-to-one or B2B consulting, personal coaching and training, and small group coaching and everything that happens in small groups on site. This is not Info Biz. In general, consulting is not a business, it's self-employment. This is not what we are talking about. We're going to be talking about the system that can generate unlimited amount of money because you can invite or you can accept unlimited number of participants. This is what we're going to call Info Biz in this particular course. Targeted audience-wise, we're going to have three vectors of online education. General public oriented to professionals who already have some qualification and want to make an upgrade, or complete shift in profession. So basically starting the profession from zero. This is going to be a very different amount of public you can address in general. So audience is going to be like size-wise very different, and as well your communication is going to be as well very different. If you target general public, normally you don't need the proof of qualification or any expertise. In general, think about it. If you are teaching people to make clay pots, nobody is going to be interested in your university diploma. You need to provide the social proof of expertise, if you can say so. If you want to educate professionals from scratch to make a professional shift, this is your personal responsibility to be a part of association or to be certified to have the right to actually deliver diplomas and make people qualified. People, if you teach professions, have to be able to put it in their CV and find job after. This is completely your responsibility to certify as an educational institution. In different countries, the laws are very different. Normally, it's not very complicated, but this is what you have to do. If we are speaking about upgrading the existing specialists who are more interested in knowledge than in your diplomas or in qualification, or having a paper like certifying or justifying what they were doing, here the proof of your expertise is needed, but it shouldn't be necessarily university diploma or any kind of diploma. For instance, if you are giving financial courses for traders, let's say having money on your bank account and showing the proof of your effectiveness can be much more important. Or let's say if you are taking singing courses from Beyonce, that's enough. That's going to be much more efficient, much more effective in terms of sales than taking singing courses from a no-name teacher, even though the teacher can be much better in teaching singing than Beyonce. Who can start online course, Info Biz in general? I would divide people into two categories. First of all, you are either a proven specialist on something, so you are recognized in your field, you do conferences, or in general you know your field very well and you have things to share, you're already educating colleagues, you're making onboarding for the newcomers, you already give courses sometimes, for example, or you're invited by institutions to teach on what you are specializing in. Or another option, you're a blogger or an influencer. Bloggers and influencers, it's a very real scenario because you shouldn't underestimate the people buying experience. Buying the experience in many cases is much more real scenario. On top of that, you are not starting from scratch. You already have an audience that's going to be loyal. You already have people who are going to be following you. So basically you are already knowing with who you are talking, and that can be much easier. What can be an online product? What can you actually create? First of all, the most obvious is a certifying educational program. This is if you are actually helping people to shift in their career path or make some kind of upgrade, and you can deliver certificates. Delivering certificate or government approved certificates is a very huge selling point. It helps a lot. And this is of course the number one that you can create. Is the easiest, let's say the most obvious and the most easily advertised. Second option is non-certifying programs. These will be more of the upgrades or something that you invented. Basically, if you invented a new type of yoga or you invented a new type of diet, there is nobody else to certify you to do this. So you basically can certify people, give them the attestation of participation, not a diploma probably, but anyways, as an upgrade, it's very nice. On on top of that, if you have a very strong personal branding and you have a community of followers, people who want to be like you, let's say some example, Joe Dispenza doing his programs for personal development. If you are the coach of Joe Dispenza program, his name is actually enough. You don't need any other education or any other diploma, any other proof of your expertise. So sometimes you can do uncertified programs, which could be just enough for people to follow you if you have a strong personal branding and program that gives good results. Sharing experience and solutions. This is a very real path for a blogger. For instance, imagine the example. You are a blogger with 1 million followers and you are making an online course, how to make 1 million followers, or like how did I make 1 million followers, like my strategy, my path, the team I hired. And that is going to be clearly experience sharing, because it's not the academical study on marketing or growing audience or even product launch, but it's going to still be interesting. A lot of people will be eager to buy your experience, to be closer to you, to come into your network. So do not underestimate the power of experience that can be packed and sold. What is as well selling very good is marathons and challenges. So basically people buy motivation with great pleasure. Me, the first example, I'm absolutely not able to cook things. I eat very irregularly. I can't follow my diet. So basically I'm the very frequent participant of marathons when they give me the list of grocery shopping, the book of recipes for a week, when they follow up with what I'm eating, when you have the community. So basically marathons and challenges, sport challenges, everyday run, 10-minute yoga in the morning, all those things are selling very well, especially if you're a specialist with very nice results. Hobbies and do-it-yourself content. So basically here, whatever, like painting aquarels, Legos, clay pots, knitting, whatever you can imagine, any hobby is very shareable. Let's say if I like to restore my grandmother's cupboard, I would rather come to a blogger and follow a course that will teach me to do it like fast and go to restoration school to do it professionally or as for a business. So all types of hobbies are really, really good selling. The only thing is that you don't have to be a specialist and nobody will ask your Harvard diploma, but you have to show very beautiful result that people will be eager to repeat, and that is repeatable actually. Something not very complicated but looking good. Here you will have to work a lot on your visual content, probably on the process content, but this is something that people buy with great pleasure. It brings a lot of money. And of course, the last but not the least, the online product that has more of the informational value rather than educational value. Here, as an example, for example, a pack of meditations or guidelines, toolkits, software manuals. For example, when I decided to play violin again, I was buying from one blogger the notes, the texts for the violin of popular songs like Katy Perry or Beyonce, adapted for beginner level violinists. So I never took any lesson of violin with her. I never did any kind of educational process. I was just subscribing for a monthly update for new texts, note texts for violin. I end up buying 800 pieces from her. So basically these have more of informational value. It was a PDF file, but it is something that also can be very easily sold. I watched her videos on YouTube. I bought the notes from her as an educational informational product. Why do people actually start online educational business? And here as well, in sake of this course and in sake of being on the same, like being vibing in the same frequency, I want that we align here. I truly believe that people are first, and one of the greatest reasons is money. First of all, people who start business, they following their ambitions. Ambitions are measured by success, and success is exclusively measured by money. If you're not paid, it's not successful, whatever you say. So basically, and this is a great opportunity to scale up the cash flow, because you have no limits in terms of participants. You can set the price as high as you want. If you manage to sell at this price, you basically can be your own boss and manage completely your financial situation. And this is the beauty of the online educational business. Second reason is be your own boss. I observe so many people in our previous courses with my previous clients who are starting their business, not even the online business, but the business in general, just because they didn't want to accept anymore being bossed by somebody or staying 9 to 5 in the office. So being your own boss, traveling around, having the the opportunity to meet hundreds of people, visit different places. It's very important. If this is important for you, if this is like talking to you, if this is something that you wish, then online education is something very easy to enter and very easy to scale. Sharing is caring. Do not underestimate how many people you could help. Imagine yourself 5 years ago. Would you pay for the knowledge you have today to skip this 5 years of educational process? If yes, then probably there are a lot of people who are willing to do this as well. So sharing your experience, sharing your knowledge is helping people, and treat it like that. You are not selling online courses, you are helping people to buy solutions to their problems. This is a work with a lot of dignity and with a lot of pride, like carry it with pride. One of the most important for people like me is a shift in the status. Basically, shifting from service to education is a huge social shift. Yesterday you were just an accountant, today you have an accounting school and you are preparing accountants for the businesses. Yesterday you were the assistant of a director, today you have a school preparing the C-level assistants. That's a very big shift, and this is a very important thing for self-esteem, for how you treat yourself and how you perceive yourself. Changing in status is one of the biggest triggers and biggest motivators. Let's see as well how much you can earn with online education. And this is the sexy part of it. There is no limit. You can actually scale up to as high as you can. You have endless opportunities to raise prices, to invite more people participating to accept more students, more participants in your online course. For example, me, I have managed projects of whatever volume you can imagine. From cheap ones, almost free, like for 4 euros, 7 euros, 11 euros, to something, let's say, already decent for 100, 200, 300, and up to, for example, courses, online courses, where sitting costs like 5k per person. As well, I managed marathons with like 30 experts participating each day, 1,500 participants at the same time online. So those are huge. Yeah, here you probably may need some support because this already requires a team. But this we're gonna check in this course. I'm gonna explain you how to maximum automate the whole process so that your team expense, your personnel expense can be minimum. And this is as well a beauty of online business and a beauty of this course, that I'm gonna show you step by step how with minimum intervention, manual intervention, you can actually automate the process and automate the cash flow. But I want as well mention this thing. There is the other side of the medal. There are of course drawbacks in this business, because business is business. In each business there is risks, and you can have negative experience as well. Not everything is so unicorny. It doesn't mean that today you start and with a click of fingers you're gonna be successful. So let's check what are the most important things to consider before you start. First and obvious is competition. There are competitors on the market, just live with that. Good thing about it is if there are competitors, that means that in this field there is money. Okay, so if there is no competitors, if you have no one to compete with, it doesn't mean that it's a blue ocean and you can go there and be the monopolist. Probably there are just no money in the niche. So, but there are competitors, you are unique, but they are also unique. And attracting your audience and advocating your uniqueness and why they have to participate in your course and not in the course of your competitors is one of the key marketing points to do in online business. Courses have tendency to outdate. This is a huge myth that you can film it once and forever, and then for years you're going to be making money without any update. This is not true. And most of all, the courses outdate not even in terms of information, but in terms of looks. Let's say a year after or 2 years later, yoga will not change. Vinsaya yoga will stay Vinsaya yoga, but the way you film, the quality of the image, the outfit you're wearing, the sound you're providing, the shaking of the camera, the resolution, these will look outdated, whether you want it or not. So imagine it from the beginning. Courses have to be reshooted and refilmed. And you as a specialist, if you stick to the business for a couple of years, in 2 years, your way of delivering information and acting on the camera will be very different. Hate. This is something you have to be very ready for. I received so much hate in my life you don't imagine. Sooner or later people will be criticizing you. Your looks, your methods, your knowledge, your expertise, your accent, your language, like in my case all the time in French or English, your dog, your family, whatever you're gonna be doing, people are gonna be criticizing it. And you have to live with that. The bigger you get, the more hate you're gonna receive. Just treat it as an indicator of your greatness, if you feel like that. Negative feedback. You will receive negative feedback. Even if like 300, 400,000 people will buy your course, everybody gonna be having super great results. Like everybody gonna be super happy, you will still have people who gonna be not happy with it, who are gonna leave negative reviews, who will ask for refunds. This is very unpleasant and you have to be ready for that. But this is different from hate. Here you have to have the, let's say, institutional approach, very dry and without any emotions. That just define your return refund policy and stick to it. Normally, I would say I tend to refund everyone. You're not happy, I refund you. So most of the time I will do that. Depends, of course, but in sake of saving the customer for probably future, better to refund, as my advice. This is like, there are no rules, but this is how I normally act. And this is the last, but probably the most important. You will be shy. It is very difficult to start. You can be an amazing specialist, you can be a super expert, but if you are shy, you think you look ugly on the camera, you don't like your voice on the videos, you are shy to publish on Instagram or YouTube your head, you are shy to announce, you are shy to say to your friends, listen, I'm starting my online course, now I want to be a teacher. You're making this separate Instagram account just like for business, just because you are shy generally to convert your personal account into a business account. You have to bypass it. Shy people are poor people. So this is the thing, like 95% of people, 99% of people do not succeed because they never start. Don't let shame or don't let being shy stop you from your goals. The path of online educator is very challenging, very interesting. You meet a lot of people, you mingle with colleagues, you become an influencer, you can become somebody's motivation, you can become somebody's role model, and this is beautiful. And if you feel like this path is for you, if you're ready to stand out of the shadow, get out of your comfort zone, help people, share your expertise, as well as improve your financial situation, make your own business and be free, I'm waiting for you and welcome in my online course, How to Start Your Proper Online Course from Scratch.